tarot readings, twin flames, soulmates, specific persons, and a lot more. What is up, Alien Army? I am Oculus, the alien next door, purveyor of esoteric lore. And on this channel, we discuss everything out of this world. So today's topic, I don't even know what I'm gonna call this fucking video.
I mean, do I ever until after I'm fucking editing?
We're gonna be talking about a whole bunch of different shit. I was thinking of doing a video about this for quite some time, but I really didn't know what to call it or how to dive into it, but we just gonna jump in feet first today. We going cannonball into that motherfucker, so here we go. So a lot of times I will see on different forums, on different law of attraction videos, on different tarot card channels, things like that, you know, because I'm into all of this, so you know, I embrace it all.
If you want to use law of attraction and use tarot cards, you do you.
Don't listen to someone that tells you you shouldn't do this or you should do that. You do what feels right for you. In the context of relationships, especially in the categories that I mentioned with tarot card readings and law of attraction and things like that, specific person, that's a really interesting one on Reddit. But here's the thing, if you don't know who someone is to you, then they ain't that, okay? And here's why. This goes for anyone, but I see it a lot in terms of like romantical types of relationships, so we're kind of going to use that topic here, but you can really pertain it to anyone in your experience, okay? A friend, a co-worker, a family member, whoever. If you don't know who they are to you, then they're gonna keep you guessing, or at least their fucking avatar is, right? Because it's true that you can view someone as an SP, a specific person in that community. Neville Goddard talks about it a lot. And then you can view them and try to manifest them as hard as you want. But if you don't know that they are the one for you, then guess what? They ain't going to be. The same thing. If you need to look at a tarot card reading to see if they are the one, guess what? They most likely ain't the one. Do you know why? Because you don't know it. So a tarot card reading is simply going to reiterate something that's already going on within you. And if you are looking at a tarot card reading and expecting someone else to tell you whether the person you're with is the one, then you're looking in the wrong place. You need to look within. You need to look with your third eye, okay? And not look outside. Now, I am not against getting tarot card readings or performing a tarot card reading yourself. Let's say if you want to find out someone else's perspective, point of view on a certain situation, by all means. What is this person's perspective? Sure, but you're not sitting there like, am I gonna get married in 3 weeks, right? You're not doing that if you know that someone is for you. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm going to take this and we're going to now bring it on over to the law of attraction aspect, because law of attraction is the same thing as really a tarot card reading, right? Because whatever is going on within you is going to present itself to you in your 3D realm experience via an event, a situation, another person. Just like the tarot card reading is going to present to you the cards that are telling the story of what's going on within you in that moment. So can you manifest a specific person? Yes, you totally can. But you are not going to manifest a specific person by asking 10 different fucking psychics, tarot advisors, and law of attraction coaches,
is this the one for me?
No, motherfucker. If you don't know, you don't know. But the purpose of this video is to allow you to know. So there are things that you know. Let's say you have someone very solid in your life, a parent, let's say a sibling, whoever. You know that that's your brother. That's it. Ain't no question there, right? You know that that's your sister. Ain't no question there. You know their relation to you.
Why do things get a little tricky in fucking romantical relationships? I don't know, but I mean, I guess it's the 3D shit.
So, knowing comes from thought meshed with emotion. The two of them form together, it forms knowing. So, just as you know that someone is your brother or sister, you have absolute clarity. You're not second guessing it. You're not questioning it. If you know that someone is the one for for you, as in however that plays out. Okay, maybe it's someone, they're the one for this month. Maybe it's someone for they're the one for this year. Maybe it's someone who they're the one until the fucking day you both die. I don't know. However that pertains to you, the one for you, a specific person, you ain't gonna know shit about them in regards to you until you know it with absolute clarity. So a tarot card reading might come up a little fucking wonky. It might come up a little wonky if you're asking from a state of confusion, because the tarot cards are just going to mirror back to you that state of confusion. So that's with the 4D tarot aspect. So with the aspect of 4D law of attraction manifestation, where you know that you're creating what you want, you're melding into what reality suits you, what's going to happen is that if you have wishy-washy energy, if you're uncertain of who that person's role is, guess what? It's going to be reflected back to you in their action, in their behavior towards you. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm not saying don't get a card reading. You might want to look at a card reading for shits and giggles, just like, yeah, I'm confirming that they're the one, and boom, all the cards come out exactly as you know, because you went into that reading already knowing that's what's going to happen. Same thing. If you go into it, let's say you're trying to manifest an SP, a specific person, and you go into it knowing, yeah, I got this. They're the one, they're it, that's it. Guess what's going to happen? The reality is going to mold itself, and it's going to present to you what you already know. So these two aspects, if you don't know that someone is for you, can you change that into knowing that this same specific person is the one for you, even if all types of evidence and tarot card readings presented itself to you contradicting that they are the one. So this is a little confusing, but we talking about 3D realm relationships, so bear with me. You know, I'm looking at shit from 5D, but I'm just saying, you know, we've all been there, okay?
Hey, is this the one? Oh my god, let me ask the card.
Okay, like, so when you are fixated on a particular person, typically what happens is that the ego is very, very involved, because the ego, Mr. Motherfucking Ego, he get triggered a lot by relationships, okay? He get triggered left, right, sideways, up, down, from the front, from the back. Oh yes, he getting triggered, especially in the realm of relationships. Maybe not for everyone, but just from what I've witnessed, I have seen that romantical type of relationships seem to be the shit that trips up motherfuckers the most, and then that shit got them doubting themselves, and I'm here to put an end to that shit.
Okay.
So when we are looking at things from a state of confusion because the ego is triggering, remember the ego wants to keep the personality safe. Oh, well, this XYZ motherfucker has the same qualities as ABC motherfucker who you dated 3 years ago, but you know what, you didn't like that ABC motherfucker, but now this person, they have the same fucking haircut as fucking ABC, right? So the new person that you're dealing with, the ego, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a previous relationship. It could be a relationship that you bore witness to. It could be a crush that you had, but you know, somewhere along those lines where you witnessed the type of romantical setting, okay, with either you or someone else. So the ego is now taking this XYZ new motherfucker that's in your experience, but the ego is like, whoa, but ABC did this, that, and the third. So now it's like the ego is like, well, you gotta watch out for XYZ because ABC done did that fucking 3 years ago. Obviously use what pertains to you. I'm trying to give a light example, okay, but I'm sure you can think of something. So now your ego is on guard, okay? He riled up. He like, oh hell no. So now because the ego is riled up, you are not seeing things with clarity through the 5D eye. You are seeing things distorted because you're entrapped in that ego construct, because the ego is trying to compare both these motherfuckers, and you are trying to figure out, like, is that person like XYZ or whatever the case for you. But you're looking at it from a distorted view. You're looking at more from like a 4D fear-based something that might not even be real, because these two motherfuckers have the same hairstyle that now they're gonna be like fucking twinsy-winsies and everything else, right? Come on, how illogical does that sound? But when you in the mix with that and the ego, he roaring his head off, you're like, like dazed and confused and shit, because now you start doubting, you start letting that uncertainty creep in regards to this motherfucker that might not be anything like that experience that you had or you bore witness to or whatever with that ABC ass motherfucker. So when you are distorted because the ego is like raring to go, like, all right, we gotta protect and defend this shit because we don't know what's gonna happen. Now you are not viewing things from a 5D perspective, which sees everything all at once. So it's like you can see how ABC motherfucker and XYZ motherfucker, they're them, you're you, and you're seeing it all clearly. But when you are trying to manifest someone, let's say XYZ motherfucker is your SP, your specific person, you're trying to manifest them, whatever it is, and you're not manifesting a person, you're emulating that inside yourself, and then they're attracting to you what you are projecting onto them. So it's sort of like you're energetically exchanging shit with them. Okay, but let's say you all about SP over here, right? But the ego is creeping in. What about this from how many years ago? They remind you of blah 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 because they have the same fucking hairstyle. I'm using a light example. So now the ego is involved in the equation when he fucking shouldn't be, because any relationship that you're dealing with love,
You should be looking at it from a perspective of love in 5D, not a perspective of 3D, because that shit is bullshit.
So now you're trying to manifest that, but you don't know inside you that they are the one for whatever you want them to be the one for, because the ego is preventing you from attaining that clarity, from being tuned in to that clarity of knowing. So if someone is acting a fool, or if you got a tarot card reading that you're just like, what the fuck was that? Listen, that shit is going on within you, okay? I'm gonna drop the mic and walk away. That is going on within you. That is all you. That is your own confusion, because you are letting the outside, you're letting a tarot card, or you are letting someone's current behavior dictate to you what you ought to already know if you were tapped into the 5D perspective. Because when you're tapped into the 5D perspective, the ego, boom, he out the equation. Okay, so you could look at a tarot card reading, whatever cards can be coming up, and you're like, yeah, this maybe is not the reading for me, or this is not the reader for me, because I already know that this motherfucker is the one, right? And then you just disregard it. Whereas if you're looking at that same tarot card reading from a state of confusion, like you expect the card reading to tell you something that you ought to have already deciphered for yourself, what's going to happen, the reading might be all over the place, and now you get into like a riled up state of fear because you're like, what the fuck, like, and then that causes more confusion. Same thing when you are consciously trying to manifest a specific person. You can have a specific person conform to meet your needs, but you need to realize that you have to know first who they are. So are we talking about controlling other people? Not really, but kind of, because remember, it's your universe. Everyone is you pushed out in your universe. So if someone is the one for you, you already know that you are the one for you. You already know that they are the one for them, and the two of you connect in your oneness, right? So you're not looking for validation of, oh, did they text me 20 times today, right? You're not seeking that from a state of confusion. You're not looking at the SP through a lens of fear or confusing. You already said, you know what, SP, you're the one, this is what it is, boom. And then you stand true in your knowingness, because guess what? This is also written in the White Book by Ramtha, and it says not this exact thing, but in regards to knowing, this book says something to the effect of, you know something, and then the presentation of that knowing comes to you after. So you must declare it to be known first before it presents itself to you as a physical fact. Neville Goddard has a lot of the same teachings, yada yada yada. So no matter who you are dealing with, whether they're triggering you, whether the ego is trying to have you associate them with a toxic ex or whatever, you have to know that every situation, every now moment is totally unique. So was I a different motherfucker than I was a minute ago? You best believe. Will I be a different motherfucker a minute from now? You best believe. You too. That goes for everyone. Every now moment is brand new, and you from your 5D perspective perspective, you know that. So anything that you have as a wonky vibration within yourself, it's only going to present itself in tarot cards. It's only going to present itself in a particular person's actions and behavior, right? Because you're all jumbled up on the inside about it. You don't have that clarity of conviction saying, look, I know this, that's what I know, that's what it is, boom, case closed. And then you know, and the ripple effect of that knowing, of your clarity, it's like it is going to present itself to you as that. So when you are in your knowingness and your state of being is declaring unto whatever, you can declare unto the cards XYZ, they are going to present themselves to you as that which you know. If you declare unto this motherfucker who is your SP that you know that they are who they are to you, then guess what? They're going to present themselves to be that. So when we're talking about this, especially in like a romantical context, can you switch from it being weird, wonky energy into you having the clarity? Absolutely. But typically what's going to happen is that the ego mind wants to come in. It wants to try to tell a motherfucker, listen, you know, we experienced something like that before. I don't know if you want that to happen again. And it's going to compare a similar situation, which is why I brought up that example of like a toxic ex with maybe a current person, because you are creating everything, whether it's what cards show up in a reading or how a person shows up in your experience and presents itself to you, you are creating it. So if you have doubt and uncertainty inside yourself in regards to whatever it is, it doesn't even have to be a person, but I just used it as an example in this video, then guess what? That's it. They're not gonna align with anything in particular that is going to give you clarity. So you're going to be left in that wonky energy. So I just want to touch a little bit on like soulmates and twin flames and karmic shit, you know, because guess what? Those are all labels too. And I'm not saying that they don't exist. I mean, if you resonate with those terms, and sure, I mean, I resonate with like soulmate type of energy, but I mean, a soulmate can be a pet, a soulmate can be a relative, a soulmate can, you know, it can be anyone. It doesn't necessarily have to be a lover. It's just that someone who your soul just, you vibe, like you jiggy prom, a motherfucker's up in there, right? Like you get along, okay? So what happens is that because someone, let's say they're so focused on putting a label, again, more 3D shit, right? The ego wants to put a label onto something to limit it so it can seem familiar, right? Because that's what the ego trying to do. If you're looking at someone that you are wanting to manifest, that you're calling them your SP, but then you're also having this connotation, yeah, but they're a twin flame, and guess what? There's like a negative association attached to twin flame, like the runner, the chaser dynamic. I mean, listen, I ain't gonna lie, okay? I'm tired of seeing twin flame ass motherfucking shit all over the place. Like, no, you got motherfuckers be calling any random person their fucking twin flame. No, okay? Listen, that, for me, that shit ain't vibing, okay? Twin flame, I don't think that that's going to be someone you're going to want to be with. Let's just go with that, okay? Because that type of dynamic, just from what I've channeled, is, I don't think you want that, okay? Or even if you think you want that, you're gonna come to a realization that you don't want that. And this is the reason why, because the dynamic of the twin flame already has attached to it. The words twin flame are charged up already with being a hard dynamic. Whether they are or not, they are charged up with being a hard dynamic, runner chaser. Like, some motherfucker running from you. Do you want that? Do you want to be running from a motherfucker? I think not, okay? You want to have like a mutual reception of the energies. So already in and of itself, twin flame is already a charged up label to a relationship. So if someone thinks or believes that their SP is a twin flame and it's a difficult relationship and they're currently in separation and yada yada yada, okay, guess what? That shit's gonna present itself to you because that's the label that you put on it from your knowingness. And I'm not saying you can't know that someone is or is not your twin flame, because you can know that. But then guess what? The dynamic of the twin flame is going to keep presenting itself. And that is, I mean, look it up, okay? If you want the romanticized version of twin flame, no. You looking for most likely a soulmate. That is more of that harmonious aspect. Twin flame, no. Okay, that's some wild ass shit, all right? But it's overly romanticized, and in my opinion, I have Venus in Aquarius intercepted by Capricorn. How am I looking at relationships? Through the eyes of motherfucking logic.
Okay. And again.
So when we look at a twin flame, we already see it's charged up as a dynamic. So that in and of itself is somewhat like an egregore. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but there you go. And we have that dynamic charged up, which is leading a motherfucker to think that their ultimate person is gonna fucking run from them. Like, what? I don't know about that. Okay, I don't know about that. I mean, just saying, okay? Think about that for a minute. Why would you want to willingly put yourself into a dynamic where it's difficult and a motherfucker running from you? So already we have that going on. But if you feel like someone is your twin flame, but they're your SP and you want to manifest them, guess what? You got to drop the label of twin flame. You got to drop the label of motherfucking everything. And you just got to know, whoever this is, this energetic thing that's in a fucking vessel right now, that is the one, boom, and so it is. You not putting a twin flame label on a motherfucker. You ain't putting a soulmate label on a motherfucker. You ain't putting a karmic tie label on a motherfucker. You just taking the energy from 5D perspective. Ooh, I like that. And then you're like, yeah, that's it. That's it. That's all you have to do. If you want to pollute any type of relationship dynamic, you put a fucking romanticized label on it. That's the best way to do it. You gonna pollute that shit. That shit gonna be the Hudson River by the time you done energetically with that, okay? Because no, all right, a twin flame, then now your perception of a twin flame is that this motherfucker gonna be runner, chaser, or you're gonna be, or whatever. And if you also want to get into it, if you even overly hype up the twin flame shit and you're like, oh my goodness, this is my dream partner, and you get all fluffy duffy up in this motherfucker, what's gonna happen is that now you overhyped it, so there's gonna be excess potential that's gonna try to like smack you down, like, whoa, but this person is like so grand and the relationship is blah 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 blah. It's like, no, it's not like that either. Don't hype it down, don't hype it up, because balancing forces are gonna want to come in like, hey, we gotta neutralize, right? So the most important thing for you to do is be balanced within yourself before you even regard another motherfucker in that way. And this could go again, this could be for like if you've had issues with like a relative that you still want to be in their experience because you know you care about them, but it's just difficult. This is the same type of thing, because you have to regard them first from a balanced and neutral place, not overly bringing them down in that energy, not overly hyping them up in that energy. You just want to view them from neutral, saying, you know what, I know that XYZ is going to work out because I know who they are to me. I know who I am to them. I know. And that's it. There is no need for bells and whistles or fucking undertakers to come through, right? Like, we don't need that fucking drama. All you have to do is say, I know, and then boom, it magically conforms, and then you see evidence in the tarot card reading. Now you're like, let me get a reading just for shits and giggles, confirming everything, right? Confirming maybe your story with this person. You're like, that's right, I knew that they were the one because I know it, and it comes down to me. The tarot card comes down to you. Just like you declare that you know someone is the one for you, and then boom, they start conforming, and then you see evidence of it, and maybe they fucking tell you that shit in the 3D realm, and you're like, I know.
You know, not in a cocky way, you're just like, I know.
You know, all of that shit, okay, because you declared it within yourself and you know who you are. And when you know who you are, you know who other motherfuckers in your experience are, because you have governed yourself. You're not getting carried away with flights of fancy. You're not looking at something through the eyes of fear. You're just declaring this is what it is. You remove labels. You remove any type of ego trap that is going to say, oh, this motherfucker wore a fucking blue shirt the same as your ex did. Okay, I mean, you know, maybe that store is fucking popular where you live. I don't know. But you're going to be above and beyond all that. When you're viewing from the 5D, from that point of already neutral rectification, you declare, and then that's when it is presented to you. So there can be scuffly type of energy going on, and that person can still be for you, for whatever you want them to be, but that person will not be for you in the way that you want them to be for you until you declare it unto everything. You declare it unto yourself. When you declare something unto yourself, when you say, I know, that's what it is. You know. It's absolute clarity. There's no romanticized nothing. There's no fucking fear-based illusion, right? It's just, I know, that's what it is. Boom. Card readings are going to present that to you. Your physical realm environment is going to present that to you, but you must know it unto yourself first. So The best relationship, the first relationship you should always have, is with your motherfucking self. Because know thyself, know the other. I am Oculus, the alien next door. We will chit chat again soon.